Brothers, when you hear this episode, I need to be clear with all of you right now. My voice is a little bit weird. Now, you're going to hear what I mean throughout the content. Now, I have no idea what even happened when I edited this in Audacity, but I'm going to tell you that prior to starting this. So just be ready for that. All right? I just want you to be prepared for some weird moments that you might hear in my voice. Now, again, no idea why it's doing that. I'll get back to normal next Monday when I talk about why I'm not going to be doing NLP anymore. But let's keep moving forward. One of my personal training clients told me something that actually made me pause to think a little bit. He says, rituals can be evil. I really didn't get offended per se. No. Didn't really correct him either. He said an aha moment. People have a limiting belief that rituals are evil. Because when most people hear the word ritual, they don't think discipline, they think loss of control. They think manipulation, they think witchcraft, or maybe even a spell. Plot twist. Brothers, rituals aren't spells. I make that very clear in my upcoming project. Not one bit. What you're really reacting to is intentional structure, okay? And most people don't live intentionally. The point behind this introduction, you guys, is understand that rituals are no different than waking up to brush your teeth. Let's start the podcast. You are listening to the Masculine Mindset Show, a podcast for men to develop a backbone, a masculine purpose, if you will, and get more physically attractive, and even become more mentally healthy. All you men listening, I turn nice introverts into fit, self-entitled savages, if you will. And you might even become a little cocky as a result of your G status. More importantly, you guys, I also show you how to flirt and date more women and seal the deal. Just look at the show notes. They are all on my blog articles. Let's get into the content. What's up, you guys? Keep listening to this podcast because I'm going to actually be discussing a common limiting belief about ceremonies, because really rituals and ceremonies, they're no different than one another, okay? Now, in case you didn't know this, I'm going to give you a little background, a little historical lesson on ceremonies. They've been going on throughout the dawn of time, okay? Like, no joke. Think about this for a second. Even if you have a quote-unquote religion that you're faithful to, it doesn't matter. Every single, even religion out there goes through ceremonies, whether they want to admit it or not. They do, okay? They're not going to tell you that though now, will they? No, they won't. They're going to just keep that on the hush-hush because back in time, all religions did this. But you wouldn't know that, would you? Anyways, let's keep moving forward, okay? Rituals are not just about, like, the Phase Zero Confidence Conditioning podcast, dual anchor protocol. It's not really about that totem ritual from last week either that I released. Which, by the way, you guys, gosh, some of you do misinterpret that particular one. When I say demonic rake, what I mean is it is a seducer archetype. It is not a literal demon. Okay, I want to make that extremely clear to all of you listening right now. Okay, fuck, a lot of you are taking that way too literal. Like, work on that. But anyways, that aside, you guys, I'm going to reframe this here. Okay, I'm going to reframe this. All right? A ritual is repetition with meaning. Okay, that's what it is. It's not a spell either, okay? It's not a spell. It is a repetition with meaning, okay? I'm going to actually kind of make this normal for you so that you know what a ritual really is, okay? A ritual is like you waking up to brush your teeth, as I said in the introduction, all right? A ritual is like you grabbing your pre-workout, like it's a daily ritual, right? You grab your pre-workout. Hey, Google, cancel. Ha, I made banana bread. Anyways, let's go. I'm going to keep rolling. I don't care. When you grab your pre-workout, that is a ritual. When you go to your fridge to make like meal prepped, whatever the fuck you have in your fridge, that's a ritual too. Now, I'm going to tell you something, okay? The only reason you have a weird relationship with that word ritual is because you either A, grew up on like a religion that says, oh, that's not right kind of thing, or B, you're just jumping into the fixed mindset frame, okay? A fixed mindset, I touched upon this previous episode called Fixed Mindset versus Growth Mindset. Go check it out. But anyhow, I'm going to actually point this out to all of you. If you actually thought that rituals are quote-unquote sacrilegious, hate to call you out, but you have a fixed mindset, okay? Fixed. F-I-X-E-T. Fixed mindset. This is actually, I'm going to give full credit to Carol Dweck, okay? She wrote the book Mindset, okay? In that book, she says very clearly, fixed mindset means you have a narrow mindset. It's narrowed. You don't want to change. I need to actually get this into your fucking ear right now so that you understand this. Rituals are not about doing something quote-unquote evil, okay? So, think of rituals like, oh, I'm going to go brush my teeth, or I'm going to go clean my car, or I'm going to go make some food. That is a ritual. It's not like this weird shit that you put out to be in your own fucking head, all right? So yes, even though I have some quote-unquote candle-based ceremonies throughout my library, you guys, you put too much meaning to my podcasts if you really have to do that, okay? But anyways, let's keep moving forward. I'm going to dive a little deeper into this limiting belief, you guys, okay? This is the spine of the podcast right here. The spine. I want you to hear me out here. When someone says rituals are evil, what they're really saying is, I don't trust myself with that, okay? That's what you're really saying, you guys. I want you to kind of like take that hard lesson and swallow it, okay? I don't trust myself doing that, okay? Work on your self-trust, you guys. Especially with like other things in my podcast as I discuss, such as like losing weight, for example, okay? If you don't trust yourself losing weight, how can you lose weight? If you don't trust yourself with rituals, how can you even use rituals? Like, I totally drew a different correlation between the two, but it's like, you need to trust yourself, you guys. You just need to trust yourself, all right? Now, the point behind this, you guys, okay, is you don't really trust yourself with the structure behind it, okay? The structure. Well, what do I mean by that? Okay, there's a structure to everything I do in my podcasts, okay? Pay attention to all of my podcasts. I've been honestly structuring them way more because I want to give you guys the best content I fucking can by structuring everything out in this content today to give you the best content that you can learn about when it comes to limiting beliefs and ceremonies, all right? Right here, you guys, I'm telling you right now, you need to trust yourself with ceremonies if you want to do them. First point. Second point is this, you guys. If you don't want to do my ceremonies, fine. I don't fucking care. The point is this. I want you to wrap this in your head right now, okay? If I could just at least change your mindset on the word ritual, great. Because that's what I'm aiming to do today. That's what I'm aiming to do, all right? Structure removes excuses. Structure removes chaos. Structure removes the option to be weak today and strong tomorrow, okay? And sometimes that can scare people. Yes, you guys, if you listen to some of my interviews with quote-unquote the Chiseler James, even he said that the way he lives his life can be very structured and intimidating to the normal person, okay? Don't be intimidated by structure. Let's keep moving forward. Man, that is a damn good piece of banana bread. Okay. Guys, listen to me. I'm going to really discuss frame sovereignty again. It's not witchcraft, okay? It's a backbone. As I always cover, getting a more backbone in today's day and age. Right? This is what I discussed on that frame sovereignty one recently, right? It's like self-leadership. That's a very deep dive. But anyways, I'm going to define it for you and make it more simple for you to understand. Frame sovereignty, it's the ability to decide who you are before the world tells you. to regulate your emotions instead of leaking them, to act with intention instead of reaction. Now, here's the clear distinction, you guys. Anything that makes you calmer, sharper, and more self-contained isn't dark. It's disciplined. All right? I want to take a quick intermission to say this real quick. Guys, listen to me. I got straight into the content pretty quickly, but I will tell you this right now. I know I totally wrote off the cuff and got you to hear that I'm making banana bread, but you should really check out my article on my blog where I discuss how to make this recipe. So, let's keep moving forward. I want you to learn how to eat healthier. The theme for this week, you guys, is improving your food intake. If you've noticed, I had that previous podcast on stop eating like a bitch. I knew I got you to click on that one. I got a lot of clicks on that. Anyways, peace out, you guys. Let's keep moving forward. So, something I really want to get clear to all of you. In my upcoming project, there will be occult-ish vibes to some ceremonies. But I'm going to make this extremely clear to you, okay? Even though some of my ceremonies do have symbolic flair, it's not because I worship chaos. Do you guys know this term is called, I believe it's chaos magic? Yeah, do you know what that is? Yeah, that's the thing. No, I don't do that shit. I don't do fucking voodoo as some women do that I have met. It's crazy to me that they do voodoo at all because I don't agree with voodoo. But anyways, different story for a different podcast. The point behind this, you guys, is this. Even though some of my ceremonies have occult-ish vibes, it's not because I worship the freaking type of magic, okay? Because I don't do chaos magic, okay? I don't do that shit, you guys. I want to make that clear. I don't do that shit. That is a thing, you guys. That is a thing. It is an actual type of magic that some people do. But it's not what I do. I want to make that clear. It's not. The point is this, you guys. Symbolism speaks to the subconscious faster than logic ever will. Okay? That's why I say, listen to your conscious and follow your intuition. Okay? Say that consistently. Get my hardcover book to know all about that. Always listen to your fucking conscious. Your conscious is your inner voice. Now let's go. The point is this, you guys. Weak systems dissolve men. Strong systems forge them. All right? I'm going to get into the ritual principle now. I'm going to talk about this here. This is the ritual principle. Listen to me right now. Any ritual, whether it's mental, symbolic, or physical, like grabbing a pre-workout, that is a ritual, you guys. In case you didn't know that, grabbing a pre-workout is a ritual. So if you grab pre-workout to go work out, you are doing a ritual. So I want to actually make this normal for you, okay? I want to make rituals normal for you, okay? So anything that's physical, mental, or symbolic, doesn't matter. Only works when three forces converge. Miss one, and it's basically theater. Hit all three, and people feel you long after you leave the room. First point is internal authority. Okay? This is where most men don't even know about. Internal authority, you guys, is not like the authority I covered as the weapons of mass influence in my very first dating ebook. No. Okay? Internal authority means your signal dominates the space without effort. You're not seeking validation, okay? You're not trying to get a reaction. You're not leaning. This is a key point here, you guys. The moment you stop reaching outward, the environment starts orienting around you. That's not witchcraft, okay? That's backbone. That right there is why I am covering frame sovereignty as of lately, you guys. It's meant to give you spine, all right? Now, next point is emotional polarity. This is the second one that I want to cover, okay? I covered internal authority. Now I'm going to cover emotional polarity. The second force is emotional polarity. It's cold and warm, stillness and intensity, right? Silence and charge. Polarity is what people feel but can't explain. It's contrast, all right? Power comes from contrast, you guys. You should know that. Masculine power comes from contrast. It activates memory. It activates chemistry. It wakes up emotional threads that were never resolved, okay? This isn't you doing something to someone, no. It's contrast existing around you, okay? Now, next big point, you guys, is energetic containment. This one is my favorite one, right? The third force, energetic containment. This is the one that is extremely important to understand when I release my upcoming project, okay? You're sealed, you're pressurized, you're not leaking emotion or intention, okay? You're not reaching outward, the world steps into you. Now, internal authority gives you the structure. Emotional polarity gives you the charge. Energetic containment gives you gravity, okay? When you combine all three, this is what women describe when they say, I don't know why I just miss him. He just has this presence. I can feel him. There's something about him. That something isn't mystical. It's engineered. All right, you guys, so I covered the reframe on what a ritual actually is, right? The limiting belief of ceremonies. And I defined frame sovereignty for you, and I covered the ritual principle, as in internal authority and emotional polarity and energetic containment, okay? Now, the point to this podcast now, you guys, okay? I want to kind of shift gears and go over briefly one of my previous episodes called Frame Control versus Frame Sovereignty, okay? This is actually does tie back to something I covered on that podcast, okay? The difference between frame control and frame sovereignty, all right? Frame control is about managing reactions. Frame sovereignty is about not needing to, all right? Let's contrast those two. Frame control watches the room, like how I leaded classes, right? I covered that on that podcast. Frame sovereignty anchors the room, okay? Control is external. Sovereignty is internal. I'll say that one more time. Control is external. Sovereignty is internal, okay? Now, circling back to ceremonies for a second. Most people think rituals are control. They're wrong. It's about self-governance. I should say self-containment. Containing yourself and your game, as one would say, right? Guys, listen to me. I have self-regulated ceremonies in my upcoming project, too. The point behind that, you guys, is this. Don't look at ceremonies as a bad thing, okay? That's the biggest message today, all right? A lot of you do already, so I'm going to reframe this here. Ceremonies are no different than you jumping in the shower to go, like, take that ice-cold shower if you take an ice-cold shower. That's just an example, all right? That aside, you guys, understand that ceremonies are no different than you basically doing your normal daily routine, okay? Rituals have been like this for literally centuries, you guys. Centuries at this point. Centuries. So if religion tries to tell you, oh, you shouldn't do ceremonies, yeah, you should probably question that. Because rituals are no different than what they do when they gather people to basically talk about the Bible, if you think about it. It really is no different than that. That is technically a ritual, if you think about it. Because they're doing it on a consistent weekly basis, okay? So, don't misinterpret ceremonies anymore after this podcast, you guys. Now, I'm going to come back to the original story, right? Of my client, Jason, okay? This is the part that I love right here. That I fucking love. Because at the end of that personal training session, that same client we talked about, who told me rituals could be evil, ended up laughing at one of my comedic ceremonies. Yeah, he ended up laughing. Because you guys, I shared with him, I almost broke the mirror with my sexy self. Yeah. Have you guys heard that podcast called When You Light the Red Candle, Your Reflection Becomes Dangerous, or something like that? When your reflection becomes dangerous, you light the red candle. That's it. All right, I got the title wrong. Whatever, let's just keep moving forward. Once fear dropped from him, he realized that I was having fun. I was self-amused while delivering that ceremony. Even to my client, Jason. That's funny, you guys, right? But it's like, you should understand this. Like, it's not all about being, quote unquote, eerie behind ceremonies. You can have comedic ceremonies too. Anyways, guys, please leave me that 5-star review. I love you. Do me a favor and check the show notes. Join my school community, SKOOL. Peace out now. I jokingly said peace out earlier on this podcast. But now I'm going to say peace out again. Let's go.
The mirror isn't judging you. I am. Phase 5. Emotional tethering and psychic residue. Cocky, relatable, dark humor, silent rake. Let's be honest. I'm the reason your mirror starts sweating the second you flip the bathroom light on. Women swear they're so over me. But the moment they stand in front of a mirror, the truth leaks faster than their mascara and humidity. Every woman has the same sacred ceremony. Stare, then squint at themselves. Tilt their head like you're diagnosing a demon in your cheekbone. And whisper, "What the hell happened to me today?" It's because here's the part they never admit. The mirror isn't the problem. I am. I'm the intrusive thought standing behind them like, yeah, you tried, but you definitely want me to see this out. Don't deny it. We both know women do the same thing. They'll redo their lip gloss because it's uneven, which is code for, on the off chance he sees me today, I need to look slightly more devastating. And every girl knows the heartbreak of, why does my left elbow look like it broke? Why does my face do this when I smile? Why didn't I marry Rake when I had the chance? Women act like mirrors are abusive, but let's be real. They're just brutally honest. The mirror's like, girl, stop doing that cute little pout. He's not watching your story yet. And they're like, oh my god, shut up. They pretend it's not about me. But the moment my name crosses their mind, the mirror fogs up because their body temperature spikes from thirst and delusion. Oh yeah. If your mirror is cracked, don't blame clumsiness. Blame the moment you realize, damn, I would let him come back. This ritual is now sealed. And yes, the mirror agrees with